Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. You are welcome to my channel. My name is Pastor Yemi Omogbo Yega. It's nice talking with you again. God bless you. Kindly subscribe to my channel. Share our videos. Press the notification button so that I get to know when we upload new videos. And comment as you deem fit. We're all learning. I want to learn. I want to hear from you. God bless you. I want to talk still on Children's Day. Children's Day. And I want to talk of it from the perspective of religion this time. Religion. How we use religion to truncate the future of our children. How we use religion to truncate or to kill the destinies of our children. Now, I don't even know where to start from. I don't know. But let me just take off from any angle. The book of Proverbs 22 verse 6, that's a good place to start from, says, train your child the way he should go. When he grows up, he will not depart from it. That is a charge to parents, to us as parents. The Bible is very, very complete. And the Bible is very, very objective. The Bible is very, very sincere. The Bible is very, very... Don't forget about what anybody may tell you about whether the Bible is fake or not. Honestly speaking, if the Bible is fake, then I go for the fake. Even up to today, as human beings have tried so much to corrupt the Bible refused to be corrupted. There are remnants of lies. There are remnants of inconsistencies. There are remnants of manipulations. There are remnants of, apart from interpretational problems. For instance, King James Bible will tell you Saul's daughter had 5 children. And at the same time, somewhere along the line will tell you King Saul's daughter that married King David anyway did not have any child. She was barren as a result of mocking her husband. These are some of the inconsistencies. Like I always say, Daddy Adeboye said, there are 39 mistakes or errors in the Bible. So all these errors carried together, they are capable of corrupting the very innocent aspects of the Bible, the very true, the very useful, the very correct aspects of the Bible. Because take one wrong doctrine, you are finished. Now, why I say the Bible is very, very, is all those very, 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 very that I tell you, it is because if you look at that statement, train your child, that is general, the way he will go or the way he should go. Train your child the way he should go. The way he should go. Or the ways, let's pluralize it now. The ways he should go. Because the training we parents ought to give to our children are many. Train your child the ways he should go so that when he grows up, he will not depart from it. One thing I want you to observe here is that even though uh, the Bible comes out of religion, and I say it's a religious book, that is, it's a spiritual book, that statement did not tell you train your child. The Bible, train your child. What will I say now? It did not say train your child the spiritual way he should go. It did not say train your child, give your child education, the nature of education we have in the world today, that is secular education. It did not say give your child Quranic education. It did not say train your child or give your child the mechanical whatever education, and skill acquisition. It just says it's an open-ended statement. It is for us as parents to move ahead and begin to analyze that and know the directions, the various directions. It did not say train your child the cultural way so that when he grows up, he will not depart from it. It did not say train your child which other way, any other ways. It is an open-ended objective statement that unless you have deep understanding of it, you may pick one leg and miss the other. And in Africa, what we normally do is whenever we pick something, we pick it wholeheartedly, and we pick it dogmatically, and we look at it from just one aspect or one perspective, and we run with it, leaving the other aspects. Just like our GOs will now teach you your tithe is number one, followed by your first fruit, and then you will do your donations, you will pay your love offering, you will pay many pledges, you do everything. Look, the house of God is where you pour everything. In fact, one of them says you can give your 50% of your income as tithe. And there is another one that says even up to 90% of your income as tithe. I even listened to one that says 100% you can give to God as tithe. And these are the things that we run into in error from religion, from Christianity in particular, that at the end of the day, the aftermath of it is that we truncate the future of our children. One, you forget about giving your children the maximum benefit they are supposed to derive from you. Two, you forget your parents. You cannot imagine some of you children, you are paying tithe to your church, you are paying donations, and they are giving you some levies, and you are paying love offering, all of them. At the end of the day, first of all, the 10% goes to your church, then the first fruit, you know that one, the whole of your salary in January, and the whole of the profit you made on your business, the first one you made, and the whole of your increase when you are promoted, the gap between your old and new salary, and many things like that. You give all this to your parents, to your children, to your church. And at the end of the day, we have situations now where a child will pay 10% as tithe and still followed all those ones, and then when it gets to taking care of their parents, he is broke. Paying his children's school fees is broke. Buying good materials for the wife is broke. Siblings can no longer be remembered. larger families, they have become enemies. In fact, they are pests, not knowing that it is the church that become the canker worm that eats up his future, his children's future, his parents' future, which is now today. Because when your parents were investing on you when you were young, they were looking at the future that they may not suffer when they grow up old and can no longer fend for themselves. That is why I always tell parents, make sure you plan for yourselves. Now, let us look at it from the perspective of children now, because we are into children's celebration, and many of us will celebrate these children in hypocrisy. We've truncated their destinies, and yet we say we are celebrating them. We've truncated their destinies through the stupid investments we are making in religion. The finances, the entirety of the funds, heavy funds that we are committing to our pastors, to our churches, and at the detriment of paying our children's school fees. I told you. I remember, you will go and borrow money to pay tithes. You will go and give everything in your house. Churches are structured in such a way that you are stripped naked. Naked. You abscond from your God-given responsibilities and you pour everything in there. And by the time you are old, the law of karma catches up with you, and you will think that the enemies are there. Thank God we are having some women today that are Thatcheristic in nature. They wait for you until you are 60, until you are 70. And then the children, maybe they have struggled to ensure that the children got somewhere in life, and God is blessing them. They will then turn those children against you, the children that you turned against yourself against by investing everything you have in the church. I'm not talking so much about the mosque because I don't think there's that much pressure in the mosque. I believe that they are kind of freelance in that area. I don't think mosques don't have the pressures we have in the church, because it's as if the main objective of the church is not salvation but financial gains, to strip all our converts naked. And unfortunately, we parents will fall into that. We go and borrow money to pay tithe. We cannot borrow money to pay our children's school fees. We go and borrow money to pay tithes. We cannot borrow money to make sure that our parents feed or are medically taken good care of, or that they are provided for adequately, or that your household is provided for adequately. Now, coming to the aspect of the children we are talking about, train your child the way he should go. There are so many ways, so many directions in which you have to balance the lives of your children. 1, let them know God. My people perish from lack of knowledge. Hosea 4:6. You are supposed to ensure that your children, in fact, I called it Journey 2 out of the compulsory journeys of life. I wrote a book on that. The compulsory journeys of life. The compulsory journeys of life is that you are giving birth to. Your father and mother started that on. And then you are giving birth to. And then your parents are taking good care of you, food, shelter, clothing, medication, everything at that level. And they ensure that you don't run into safety hazards. They protect you. Then the next journey that parents should take their children to compulsory journey is that they may know God. And in this process, religion is the avenue through we express this. You will now see that children, those who are Christians, will take their children to the church. Then those who are Muslims will take their children to the mosque. And those who are Isheshe, of course, they know what they do. They will start indoctrinating their young children from that very young age, chanting incantation and doing all that, and doing what their parents are doing. So you could see that. But in the case of Christians, you are supposed to train your child the way of God. And the only way to train your child to know the way of God is to introduce them to that God through your religion. And having introduced them to that God, you start nurturing them from that level until they become whatever they want to become spiritually. Because to be frank, I tell you, there is nobody. Christ says, without me, you can do nothing. Without me in you, you can do nothing. And that is why the majority of the population in the world, they are empty vessels, because spiritually they are empty. That is why they can behave in an animalistic way, wild ways. That is why they can do evils, because where there is no God, there is confusion, there is disorder. So now, training your child the way of God, what does it entail? Let them know God. Pray with them as Christians. Read the Bible with them. Go to church with them. Have your family altar where you teach the word of God in your house every day. In fact, when we are still raising our children, we train them twice a day. Early in the morning, we read the Bible. In the evening, before we go to bed, we read the Bible. And I ministered. Honestly speaking, I tell you, I give glory to God for the skill He gave me. Oratory, prowess, and then teaching capability. I thank God. Then, how do you also train the way of the Lord? Make sure that they attend church programs. You know, I'll still tell you the dangers of all these. I'll tell you the dangers of all this, because if you don't know the danger in any venture, you can run into trouble. You can easily, in fact, more easily run into trouble in the church of God, especially as you are introducing your children. You may take your children thinking that you take them to God. Unfortunately, you have taken them to the lion's den. Now, then let your children begin to express their talents in the house of God. If they can sing, let them begin to sing. It will profit them if they are properly managed. If they can do drama, let them start so early, because it will sharpen their intellect, and eventually they may become good entertainers tomorrow, and yet still use that skill for God, to promote God's work. Then whatever talent that God has given to your children, let them express it in the house of God. I've noticed one thing: children that attend churches, they are smarter, they are more clever, and they are smarter, they think better, they reason better, their intellect is highly developed, and so on and so forth. So you are training your children in the way of the Lord there. If they can sing, like I said, let them sing. They can beat the drums, let them use the instruments in this world. You are building them. Interestingly, what they are doing in the church of God profits them in their secular life. Because a good singer in the church will become somebody like Tope Alabi, could become somebody like, what's the name of this guy that sang Yeshua Hamashiach, Lion of Judah, and so on and so forth. That same skill expressed in the church can become a commercial skill that, when if promoted well, can bring them to limelight and give them material wealth at the end of their, as they progress in life. So the church of God, and you see, children interact smartly because you have many children from different backgrounds and from having expressing different talents. Your children quickly fits it. I noticed that children that you introduce the Bible to so early, they know how to read and write faster, and they speak better and faster. Good sound English. That's true. These are some derivative benefits of introducing your children. Then, children that are introduced to the Lord early in life, they fear God. Anything they want to do, wait too. There are some children, they are going, but their mind is not there. They still continue to lie, they continue to fornicate, they continue to play pranks. It's you that know the kind of child you have. So that is good. It is good to catch these children so young, so early in life, so that they don't grow in evil ways before you realize. So don't scare yourself from training your children the way of the Lord. But I'm going to tell you where we got it wrong. But let's look at some other areas that, train them the ways they will go. I'm saying the ways now, but the way, it depends. I mean, 1 way, 2 ways, 3 ways, 4 ways. I told you that statement is pregnant. It's an objective statement. It's not a statement you take for granted, because many of us will quickly conclude that, take them to the church and that's all. No. It includes sending them for secular education. Your child should be properly taken care of educationally. Put them in the schools your ability can carry, and you can effectively fund and let them be regular there, and then monitor them until they really succeed in their work and everything, university, and aim to ensure that none of your children has less than a degree or even master's or even doctorate degree as the ultimate aim. If you can also fund them there, train them educationally to get there. Train your children on how to interpersonal relationship with other people, with their friends, with members of your families, with everything. So, but like I said, train your child on the value of making money. Let them be prepared. Train them never to be lazy. As you are doing something, train your child to do it also. You are going to school, train your child. You go to school. You are selling something, give them that skill. Ellen, I told you, my legal father gave me farming skills that till today I'm still profiting from. I love farming. It's a pity that it's not good for commercial purposes because of the environments in which we operate. God is still doing what he did in the Garden of Eden till today. God is still doing, making these seeds we are planting to multiply, blessing, sending his rains and doing them. But the manipulations of human beings, corruption of human beings, made this farming unprofitable. From individual to government, they sat together, and pests, animals, everything thieves, they all gather together to make agric, which is most profitable, unprofitable. Okay, imagine you sow a seed of maize, and this seed, single seed, by the time it germinated and did everything, can give you as much as or as many as maybe 600 other seeds minus that one that you planted. Let's say you have like 599 seeds. What else do you want God to do? Now, but when God has given you that and a thief comes there, I met a thief in my farm with a bowl harvesting maize that I planted. I planted a little farm of maize in my compound. Somebody just came in there and started harvesting. I planted oranges in my compound. Somebody would go there and I planted coconut in my compound, not bothering whether I even tasted of it or not. Somebody will go and harvest it or is it the government that will say they are setting up so many agri programs and then they waste your time, they waste your energy, they waste your money, they even collected money you don't have because you are looking for money to fund your agricultural business, and at the end of the day they frustrate you? Or is this the leadership of all the agri corporate board associations that will waste your time, will get some things, and the leadership will take them over? What about the fertilizers that the leadership of some of these bodies stole? I'm just telling you. It's not a discussion for today. Or finally, in agriculture, after you have labored and everything, the little you are able to harvest, you bring it to the market woman priced it down, and your spirit is dampened. What do you say to that? And you cannot keep it for long. You have to dispose it unprofitably. You cannot determine the price you will sell your commodity because there are other sellers. So everybody is taking advantage of one another. Now, let us come to train your child on how to save, even for the rainy day. If your children begin to make money and they don't know how to apply it, like Yoruba will say, "Owó tí ọmọdé bá kọ́kọ́ rí, àkàrà ló fi ń jẹ." They will use your money to pursue luxury. But if you give them good training, financial training from home, how to be shrewd with money, how to be disciplined with money, your children may excel. So we are celebrating Children's Day. Let's see the various ways in which we truncate their destinies through religion. I told you, take your children to God. Yes, very important. Without God, that child might not excel in life. That child may be swept away by the whirlwinds of the world. That child may become somebody who is merciless at the end of the day, even to you, the parents. It's only God that can moderate the lives of children in such a way that they will have balanced education. And a balanced life. So it is compulsory, but be careful. One, in area of training your children, make sure you get a copy of the Bible yourself. Make sure you start training that child the Word of God early enough. Read it together. And by the time they start picking one or two things, let them start reading it. Explain it to them. And let them also begin to tell you what they understood by it. And not only that, what I did in my house is the practical side of Christianity. Many of the things that we are doing, I will relate them to the Bible. Let's take for instance, the Bible says, love your God with the whole of your heart and love your neighbor as yourself. Now, love the God with the whole of your heart. It is because you love God that you take your child to the side of the Lord as parents. And it is because you love God that you are reading the Bible with your child. It is because you love God that you are taking him to program so that he too can get involved in it. Thank God for my late mother. She made sure I was restless as far as going to church is important. Is concerned. 5:30 a.m. we're on the way. Returning around 7 a.m. to prepare for school. Today it paid off. Apart from the religion, it is the religion that moderated my character. The fear of the Lord that my mother instilled in me when I was young, that's what made me to be merciful even towards everybody, not only towards her. Towards everybody, I want to do what is positive to people. That debunks these useless theories that maybe I should continue to use it as an example. Children will pattern after their parents, especially their father and their mother. Women are closer to their children, so the children will take more instructions from the mother and get the direction. Women will mold the direction that their children will go in life. Like this, taking children to church, women are good at that. And if you have women that are not going to church, you see that their children will just be freelancing around spiritually. And they will have no direction because she does not have a direction. Then the role of fathers are different. But what I'm saying is it doesn't matter who you are. You are a byproduct of your father and mother's characters. Let's take a child that is given birth to outside wedlock as an example, and the one that is given birth to by the husband, the real husband of a woman. And now look at it. The one that is given birth to outside wedlock will pattern after his biological or her biological father's character. And his or her mother's character. Now, the one that is born at home, inside wedlock, will take after his or her biological father's character and mother's character. Let's say it's the same woman that gave birth to both of them. She gave one birth to one outside wedlock and she gave one to one inside wedlock. Now look at the two. If the character of the mommy and the biological father that she got from outside is good, humble, that child will pattern after that character. If the child that was born inside the home biologically, and that father has a bad character, and the mother herself has some traces of bad character, that child will pattern after the same mother giving birth to them. That child will pattern in character after his or her mother and his or her father. In other words, you might have a child in-house, and that child, because the character of the father is bad, that child will behave badly. But the one that the same woman has from outside, that the composition of herself and the other man is humble and they are good character, that child from outside that wedlock will have better character than the one that is born at home. So, in their behavioral pattern now, it is the one that is inside that will be behaving like somebody who is abnormal, whereas the one that is from outside biologically will behave normally. Forget about what they will say. Any child that you born from outside, his character will be bad. If the character of the father of the child outside is bad, that character will translate to what he will be doing wherever he is. But if that character of that child from outside is good, the father and the mother, their characters are good, irrespective of the fact that she was giving birth to outside, that child will behave well in the home that she is raised or he is raised. That is the fact of life. There is no generalization as to if a child is giving birth to outside, he will behave abnormally. No, there is no generalization. It depends on the composition of the mother and the father, outside father, that give birth to him. So many a time you see that children born outside the home, outside wedlock, may behave better than the children born in-house. It depends on the characters of their parents, because we are a replica of our parents. If our parents have good characters, we are most likely, unless we are influenced by outside influences, we are most likely to behave well. If our parents have bad character, have bad traits, we are going to exhibit it. So, there is nothing conclusive about saying that, because the child was born from outside, this one was born from inside, then the one inside will behave automatically normally. It will be normal in the sense that when we say normally, if it is the traits of the father to be stubborn, it's normal for him to be stubborn. And if it is the traits of the father of the other child born from outside wedlock to be humble, that child will normally. But when you bring them together, their character will not be the same. The one inside might be the one that is really having flawed characters, whereas the one from outside is the one that is behaving normally because of the composition of the parents. Now, what am I saying? I'm saying that once you train your child, you take your child to the church of God, you should be fully involved in moderating his life in such a way that he doesn't get carried away. One, your child, as a result of mixing with other children from badly behaved homes. Sorry for the break. Let's go ahead. If your child has the misfortune in the church of God of mixing with children from bad homes, and you did not detect that early and correct it, they can become something else. Then if your child, if you free them too much to be going for programs of children programs, this program, that program, this and that, and they get carried away by the programs of the church, they can drift away. It may affect their education to the point that all they now know is spirituality, and that will not profit them. If your child has a skill, a good skill, and it is now concentrated on in the church of God, it is good that he's using it for God, but there is time that should be apportioned to everything. Maybe he can sing, and he's singing here and there and there and there and there, to the point that he has no time for his education. Well, he's drifting away, and you need to make sure that everything is balanced. If your child now has the feeling that being in the church 24 hours is better than balancing it, facing the education at the same time and doing everything, then it's drifting away. You just have to balance it. Now, if your child, we've talked about that, you are supposed to pay his or her school fees. You are supposed to monitor his performance, activities in the school. If you use the money of your child school fees to pay tithes or to pay any money in the church, you have truncated the future of your children and your own children and your own self. If your children are indoctrinated in certain ways, your children may come back to bite you later. I remember one child, after graduating the university, a Christian university, at the end of the day, the behavior he demonstrated towards his parents, because he has been indoctrinated in certain ways from the church activities in the school. He does not even regard his parents anymore. And he has to be properly taken care of again before he can realize even Exodus 20, verse 12, that children should honor their parents. May become spiritually bankrupt, such that there is nothing that the parents do that will satisfy him, or he will look at the parents as if they are non-entities, or as if they are never do well, or as if he will always look for the fault of the parents. And in these days that we have the waves now, that okay, you must, even when it gets to marriage, you must marry within a denomination or whatever. You see that child future might be truncated, because he will not see any other time. Even if the parents are guiding that, your wife could come from wherever God chooses. No, it is our church or no more. And a good wife may not be there in that church. He will not have that neutrality of mind to be able to say, let me be objective. Let me study the character of the person I want to know. The moment that person comes from that church, that's all. You can truncate the destiny of your children through church going. Yet you must go to church. You must take your children to God. What is important, you have to moderate their characters, they are growing, to suit the will of God. But when you yourself, you don't have the will of God, what will happen? You don't even know it. So we need to be very careful. Everything that your child is doing, you must monitor. Parenting is a full-time business. You must know the direction. You must know the changing patterns of your children's behavior and be able to redirect to the appropriate channel. If not, you may end up truncating the future of your children. If your own character in the house is faulty, you're already building the faulty character for your children's future. Maybe the way you and your husband or wife relate is not cordial. That discordance is indirectly being transferred to your children's future family. Maybe you don't know. Women are so fond of using certain languages that are uncomplimentary. Your children will do better, and it may affect their future. So there are so many other things, but in the Church of God, you have to be very careful. Give direction to your children. Don't let the church activities conflict with their educational ability. Don't let it conflict with the home training you are supposed to give. Don't let it conflict with the core values. As a family, you should have core values that your children will stick to. Now, on the part of the children themselves, let me tell you, it's only God that can make you to get desired results over your children. You may intend well, train them well, do everything well, show them how to love, show them how to do this, but when they become independent, they may throw all those trainings away. Is it not from the church that you have children coming home seeing their parents as witches and wizards because of the indoctrinations from the church? You have to moderate those ones from the beginning. The churches where the prayers are die, fall and die, fall and die, fall and you never do well unless this, unless that, unless you pay tithe, unless you attend all church programs. You need to be very careful. These children, by the time they imbibe all these things, you may not be able to be in charge of your children later in life. Religion is very, very dangerous. There is difference between religiosity and Christianity. Religion is rule-based. You must do this, you must do this, you must do this, you must do this, you must do that, and at the end of the day, rubbish. They all amount to nothing. But Christianity is love. The situation will determine how you behave. Show love in every situation. Everything you do, yes, you trust God to do everything for you, but you don't lose even your sense of logic, commonsensical things. There are some things that when they say, you yourself know that they are not real. You cannot do nothing unless you have your mind and you can think outside the box. That even reminds me, even in your religious life, think outside the box. Query doctrines, query preachings, query teachings. The Bible says, ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall set. Be after the truth. When someone was telling me the other time that, look, because I was reading for my WAEC, I was reading Chinua Achebe's Things Fall Apart and that I backsliding. I said, it is better that I backslid. I read it very well and I passed my exams. That is thinking outside the box. When I wanted to marry and somebody was saying because the wife you are marrying, you chose, is somebody from another religion's background, and then because of that, you are backslid. I say, it is better I backslide. Today, I give glory to God. I know I didn't backslide because my wife and I, we are compatible. Compatibility is what to look for in wife, not religion. A lot of things can truncate our destinies, and it is from the church that we imbibe all these dangerous teachings. And at the end of the day, that's why we should limit the exposure of our children to the reality, to something that will profit them and profit us and profit God Almighty. Going to the church of God should not truncate the destinies of our children, but we have to be vigilant and be watchful before we can get anywhere. Let me stop here now. God bless you. Please, you see, nobody has the monopoly of wisdom. This is how it occurs to me, and I've released it, and I pray to profit you as parents and you children. Take note, not all that glitters is gold. You need to have your own mind. You need to know what you want from life, and you need to pursue those things yourself. You need to identify the visions of your parents, the ones that are good there. Key into them. Like I always say, my mother developed the vision of me being educated for me because she wanted her child to be educated, and I said I must be educated, and that's it. Bam. Today I'm educated. She showed me the path of God. I'm now a pastor. These are the profitable journeys you can make. Serving God. Serving God, loving God does not mean that your destiny should be truncated. Beware, you children. Those peer pressure, all those sagging friends, all those Yahoo friends, they lead you to nowhere. In fact, they lead you to destruction. They truncate your destiny. Be careful. Be careful. Birds of the same feather flocks together. So it is a joint responsibility of the parents as well as the children themselves to ensure that their children's destiny is not truncated. Oh, welcome, Power Holding Company of Nigeria. Thank God we are true. Have a wonderful day. Please share, pass your comments as you deem fit. God bless you.